Greetings. Welcome in. Welcome in. Y'all, I'm bringing this in with an incense. This is called blessings. So sending everybody peace, love, light, and blessings on this beautiful Saturday. On Saturdays, we chant. The chant the chant that is correlated with the heart chakra is Yam, Y-A-M. Before we begin, I am Simone, Shepherdess, and I was taught that when you get, you give. When you learn, you teach. I'm here to preach, and y'all finna get this word. I'm gonna bring this in. Cleansing the energy with my chime bell. The 4 chimes that you hear represent me cleansing the energy of the 4 elements of water, fire, air, and earth. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Y'all, so I'm going to be chanting. Of course, my motivate. Dang, why do I keep forgetting to bring my rose in here? I'm gonna do some lane today. But so quick little lesson. If you're new here, we also hold our hands in mudra positions that are aligned with the particular chakra that we are balancing. For the heart chakra, it is your index finger to your thumb. Both hands, your right hand will be placed over your heart chakra, and then your left hand should be placed over your left knee. Typically, the way that I chant is on, a deep breath. So, Yum. You hold on the A, and it's like as you're exhaling, that's how long you hold your chant. What else? Let's do 4 deep breaths to center ourselves, and then go straight into the chanting. I recently reduced the increments I was doing because we were going up by the hundreds, but I noticed on Instagram, the longer my video is, the tougher it is for me to like download it and get it onto YouTube. So right now we're just going up by increments of 10, so I'm only requiring 40, but I still want y'all to do this work outside of this. Once I get, I guess, my technology the way I want it to be set up, then I'll go back to increments of 100, because I just know, like, I literally be on here for minimum hour and a half when I'm doing the full meditations, and it's just been a headache trying to transfer from another device. So once I get, really I need like 3 or 4 different devices, and then I need different ring lights to capture me the way I want to be captured. So yeah, even though we're not doing the work on here, I still want you to do the work by yourself. I show you 4D. Just text me when you're done, and then so I know you headed there, and then I'll get you a list. Cause my main thing is water, and like. Okay, cool. So, all right. Have a beautiful day. Yeah. So let us begin. 4 deep breaths, then we're gonna go straight into our 4D chants. Yeah. Yum. 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 Forgive me, y'all. I was halfway through. Let's do 20 more. put you down. Let me see. You got something in your ear. Yes, I do. Get down. So, if you have been tapping in, you know we've been covering the 5 love languages of children this week. And today we are on love language number 5, and it is acts of service. The main takeaways that I have for this chapter includes ensuring that you are being genuine, because everything we do for our children, especially our younger children, are acts of service. So washing their clothes, fixing them home cooked meals, buying them the necessities, helping them with homework, doing chores together, like those are acts of service. And a lot of times we, especially if you are a single parent or the task of raising the kids is mainly on you, we become overwhelmed with those tasks, and sometimes we, victimize ourselves and do it resentfully. Like, I gotta cook, gotta wash a house load of fucking clothes. Like, so being in that moment grateful that you have the ability and the capacity to complete those acts of service or those tasks at hand, and doing it lovingly, like being grateful that you have the means to get your kids clean clothes. You have the means to bathe your kids in fresh water or just in general, because whether you believe it or want to accept it or not, it's something that you have that somebody is yearning for, seeking, wishing that they have. And it is the smallest little thing that you are taking for granted. What else? Oh, being mindful of, was that in this chapter? Was that somewhere else? Oh, a caution as we explore the final love language. Don't view acts of service as a way to manipulate your children. This is also tied into that gifting with guidelines. This is easy to do because they are young. When they are young, children desire gifts and services more than anything else. But if we parents give into desires or even demands for too many gifts and too much service, our children remains childishly self-centered and become selfish. So ensuring that as we are intentionally loving our children in their particular love language, that we are not trying to control or manipulate. Like, it's genuine. Like, it all comes down to being genuine, like not trying to control or manipulate them. And then also, because it mentions somewhere, like when you are trying to learn your child's love language, especially with teenagers, don't ask them like, this is what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to learn your love language, because children become very manipulative based off of what they learn, what they observe, and what they absorb. So we tell a teenager, this is what I'm trying to do, and it's like, dang, I know I want to get money all the time, so I'm going to act like this my love language, and if they not giving it to me, then I'm going to let them know they not loving me. No, you have to be intentional and genuine in giving, speaking this love language and seeking the love language. It was also a story, a little example in here. What did I want to share about this? Oh, it was something in here, it's called Shooting It Straight. And it was basically this family who feel like children should be independent. You really shouldn't be doing too much for children. So, for instance, it will be many times where his teenage son would like call him seeking help for something, and they were like out in the Midwest or something, like live like a real, I don't want to say redneck, but that's what I'm getting, like redneck lifestyle from what they've said in the book. Something like the wagon got stuck in a creek, and he would send his little brother to go get, like, can you go get dad? I really need help. And his dad be like, you got stuck in there, so you need to figure it out. And his dad eventually came and asked him, like, I need you to, like, be honest with me. Do you feel like you love me? And his son went down this whole list of examples of every time I asked for your help, every time I sought out for you, you always declined. You always pushed me away and told me to figure it out. And it's like, sometimes, yes, I know I'm independent and I can figure stuff out, but when I'm seeking that assistance, don't turn away from me. Like, come to my call. Now, that doesn't mean rinsing me every single time or drop what you're doing every single time to help me as soon as I need you. But in those dire moments when I rarely ask you for things or seek assistance from you, you were turning me away. And the son was like, I know you love me, but I don't always feel it based off how you respond to me or neglect me in my times of need. So being intentional about hearing our children when they are speaking to us, when they are seeking us. So if you are one of those parents that feel like my child should be independent, my child should be able to figure stuff out on their own, especially if they got their own stuff in there. And yeah, we do want kids, to sharpen their critical thinking skills and be able to problem solve, but they are kids. It's stuff that I am going through as an adult, and I'm sure you are going through as an adult, that you wish you could call your parent and ask for assistance on, or wish they can help you. Yeah, my skin, I've been working on clearing my skin, and it's just giving for me today. I'm so glad I'm clearing these spots up. Sorry. Not sorry. I have to get my flowers to myself as soon as they bloom, baby. Yeah, so y'all, let's ensure that we are, when our kids are asking for help, that we are giving them that assistance. Like, it's one thing for your child to be like a, what's the word? Dependent on you. So every single thing they ask you for, Ma, can you put my toothpaste on my toothbrush? Ma, can you come tie my shoe? Ma, can you come? It's like certain stuff at a certain age, they know how they can do themselves. When you get out your bed, you can just spread the little comforter up by the pillow and brush the wrinkles out the sheet. You old enough to, my 4-year-old, I can say make up the bed and he'll sit there and we'll figure it out. So it's like having that being able to distinguish when your child is just, because also I feel like that'll be a different type of love language. Like they need that what is it, that focused attention, if they are constantly trying to seek you out that way. But in regards to acts of service, yeah, you will learn if they're trying to manipulate you or if they really need your guidance in that moment. Yeah, so touching bases again on like us ensuring that we're genuine when we are providing service to our kids. It says, don't want to read this whole paragraph, I guess. Because service to a child is constant for so many years and takes place in and around so many other obligations, parents can forget that the daily mundane acts that they perform are expressions of love with long-term effects. At times, they can even feel more like unpaid laborers than loving servants, but put upon by spouse, children, and others. However, if they assume this attitude, it will communicate itself emotionally to the child, energetically to the child, who will feel that he is receiving little love from the acts of service. So at the end of the day, you're going to be cooking the home-cooked meals and you're going to be washing the clothes, but it's like your child gonna see that, oh, she overwhelmed. I really don't even want her doing it. Like, let me figure it out myself. Or, dang, she got an attitude because of this. And you have to be mindful of, now that we know that, since we know that we're energetic beings, that energy is just transferring to that food. That energy is now within the clothes as you're washing it. So then we start whether you believe it or not, experiencing other stuff. Now you're wondering why I got this rash, because my mama was angry and she put this energy within this. Energy does not dissipate. It just moves on to something else. Energy never ever dies. The ultimate purpose for acts of service to children is to help them emerge as mature adults who are able to give love to others through acts of service. That's another thing. If you aren't, we do practice those acts of service in the house, but it's very easy for us and our children to feel like these are obligations or these are things that you should be doing. But we also want to give them the perspective of acts of service of what we are doing outside of that household for other people that are less fortunate, that can't really do for themselves, that need assistance. And assistance in the sense of, I'm helping someone that I know is not going to ever be able to help me in return. And I mean that tangibly, because when we do acts of service, it does help us in a sense. It gives us that perspective of gratefulness, because whatever you're doing, you should in that moment feel like, damn, I'm doing this because I would want somebody to do this for me ultimately. So you do get something from it, but not like, I know this person will never be able to take me to this 5-star restaurant or repay me by the way I am doing this for them. So I don't know if I told y'all, but like growing up, when my sister had to do her community service in order to graduate from high school, like we would go with her on the weekends to feed the homeless. And my sister is 7 years older than me, so I was young. Like, so being on my Saturday feeding the homeless, I know that definitely played a part in who I am. Yeah. So when our kids see us doing stuff, we are automatically teaching by example. Even if they are too young to fully grasp it at that moment, that act of service, you are still instilling in them. And then that was just, we're not going to dive deep because y'all should really be reading this yourself. So those were the 5 love languages. It is an entire other half of the book that I want everybody to indulge in, and it gives it even has like a chapter in here for like single parents and how you can maneuver the love languages by yourself with your kids, how to discover your child's love language, what else did ultimately, in conclusion, if you feel that you have read the book, absorbed all the information, and started applying the teachings, and you feel like you're still not getting a response out of your child, or your child's behavior is still not at its best, then something else is the problem. Like, and what I have deduced is, like, when we aren't intentionally, genuinely communicating our child's love language to them, that's when like those traumas start. And not only to them but to ourselves, like, because in order for a trauma to be passed on, it's something that we haven't become aware of to address, or we have become aware of and just ignored it and chose not to address it. So, for instance, one of the examples in the book was about, if a child experienced a divorce. And most times, because it might be some families out there who do communicate effectively, but it's like when a relationship ends, people aren't sitting down discussing, us separating. This is what it's about to be. This is how the dynamics of this household is about to change. The kids always witness the couples fighting and getting into it and arguing and bickering, but we don't really sit down with them and be transparent in a way that things are going to end or move forward or transition. So meaning that all we do is witness the fighting and fighting and fighting, and y'all making up. Then eventually one day y'all fight and one of the parents leave the household, and we never know how or why or how did y'all come to this decision, and then all we know is it's animosity between our parents, and sometimes we go see our daddy, sometimes we don't. Sometimes our daddy see us, sometimes we don't. My dad disappeared for the rest of my life, and I known him the first 12 years of my life, then I never saw like effectively communicate, because it's like, yeah, relationships end, but just the same way y'all felt okay displaying the anger in front of the children, explain how you chose to love yourself and the relationship ended. So being transparent, the way we communicate, like it's something more. It's like, okay, well, if these love languages haven't altered your behavior, then it's something more. So now we need to sit down and dissect and reflect to figure out what is the root cause of this problem, because I'm doing all I can do and I don't know what else to do. So you really need to be intentional about figuring out your child's love language. And again, in order for us to figure out their love language, we have to know how to love on ourselves, because you will not have the capacity to love. I don't give a fuck if you birthed them, if they birthed you, to love or accept anybody else until you have healed your own wounds and love and accept yourself. I share. So the journal prompt for today is, based off observation and interaction, what have you concluded your child's primary love language to be? Based off reading the story, based off trying to, I hate when I click the pen, apply the love languages to figure out which one, gets a better response from your child, rather. Which one have you deduced is their primary love language, and how has learning their love language changed your relationship? I didn't have that second part, but I need that. Do y'all really be answering the journal prompts? Putting that time and effort in to better you. This first deck I'm pulling from is, what is this? Work Your Lights Oracle. Spirits, and near. I am clear. Ready to hear. What's the message? God needs to know. Tell me. So. Three cards for love. Y'all know what I want to tell y'all. I don't want to say I lied yesterday, because I really forgot. That's how little I left my house. But I have left the house in June. I went out to eat twice, and I went to the grocery store. So I left the house twice, because one of them I did both at one trip. So I did leave, y'all. Forgive me. Okay, so we had three cards come out. The first one is Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. Helpers in the subtle realms. You're never alone. You always have. If energy never dies, then imagine where if your grandparents aren't living anymore, where your grandparents are, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents, their grandparents, like, you have all of this divine energy orchestrating for your good. Because the place where you are right now is the place that they manifested you to be. The next one we got is Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. When you aren't grounded, when you aren't present, what do you do to ground yourself, to bring you to the present moment? Do something to change your energy. That could be anything. Breath work, woosah, chanting, walking outside in nature, exercising. I don't know. Doing some type of meditation practice. And I want us to get out of the mindset of meditation has to be me sitting down with my eyes closed, my thoughts not there, me not thinking, my mind blank, that you can meditate in so many different forms. Cooking is a form of meditation. What again brings you to the present moment? What brings you peace? When you are doing it, you're passionate about doing it, and you can't really tell that you are doing it. So it could be cooking, drawing, coloring. It does not have to just be, again, you sitting down, yogi style, chanting. The last one is Amrama. Where are you being called to journey to? I really need to buy this real deck. Y'all know I got these off of Temu, and Temu fucking copy pasted and printed these cards out, y'all. Like, why? Yeah. So they knocked me off. And I need to get the real ones so I can have a book. Because I want to get more depth, like with these depth in regards to what these cards mean. But where are you being called to journey to? For me, I know I'm being called to journey to healing, y'all. Generational curses and traumas and karmas. Like, I feel that it was bestowed upon me to, especially when I became aware, like becoming aware. Me and my sister was talking about this recently. Sometimes I'm like, ugh. I hate that. Like, I became aware, because once you become aware, you feel so tried in so many different aspects, because once you become aware and still have to coincide with the matrix and with the system, it is very overwhelming. But where are you being called to journey to? Is it somewhere spiritually, physically, mentally, somewhere tangible or intangible? Is it time for you to journey to another state, another country, another continent, another job, another environment? It's 6 o'clock. Time for a Greg Street. Let's do I'm gonna do a tarot card first. What does tarot want us to know? Spirits. I don't know if we want all these. Okay. There. So we had 2 cards to fall out. The first one is the Ten of Swords. Let's see what this card means. Automatically, now 10s mean like endings. Getting ready to walk into some type of new beginning. And we got the Queen of Wands. Look at that magic in her hand. And we know Wands is that fire energy. So fire sign. Your passion, your creativity. It is that sacral chakra energy. Ten of Swords, painful endings, crisis, being stabbed in the back, an opportunity to find deep healing, an opportunity to find hope and resiliency. This Ten of Swords comes to us in times of blinding truth, when delusion is lifted. Sometimes the truth is painful because it indicates backstabbing or personal loss. This card can mark an abrupt ending to our current path and a jarring resolution in the form of a broken relationship, a blocked dream, a fractured partnership, or a discontinued career path. While these endings feel severe in the moment, the most potent seeds of hope are always planted in their place. Remember that our wounds teach us about our greatest Those a package. Wow, I didn't even realize we had this other journey card out here. While these endings feel severe in the moment, the most potent seeds of hope are always planted in their place. Remember that our wounds teach us about our greatest strengths and illuminate our innate ability to heal. Your dark night of the soul will be met with a beautiful new dawn that is filled with more light than you've ever experienced. Remain open to love and joy as you process this ending and look to the sunlight that awaits. Watching the sun peek over the horizon is the highest task of a bruised heart. Affirm, I am healing every day. And what do we have? Where are you being called to journey to? Where are you being called to journey to? This is almost like we are piggying back off that conversation yesterday in regards to me finding out that my last place of employment has filed for bankruptcy and still in every single clinic that they have in the United States. And yeah. And while we are in the midst of endings most of the time, we don't know why it is happening. But what the divine is saying, what your spirit guides are saying, is that it is divinely orchestrated. Don't you victimize yourself. Don't you regret. Don't you resent. And don't you be anxious about what's to come, because it is all happening in the timing that it should happening. In the timing that it should be happening, and it's happening for your better good. So I know it feels like it may be a loss, it may feel like this is a setback, but it is your setup for your comeback. Yeah, like, let's see what the Queen of Wands gives us. Creativity, passion, determination, confidence, joy, bold expression, helping others as you build your queendom and power. You're capable and fierce. It's time to root into your purpose and boldly step into the limelight of your life. Dang, didn't the Ten of Swords just say something about seeds and being rooted, planted? We are being planted. We've been planted. You are capable and fierce. It's time to root into your purpose and boldly step into the limelight of your life. The Queen of Wands radiates creativity and passion wherever she goes. And when she enters a room, her exuberant charisma and confidence are palpable. Don't be afraid to be the center of attention. And for Goddess's sake, stop acting small in order to make those around you more comfortable. That was one of the messages of the day. Do not dim your light in order to please somebody else. Blow out your flame in order for somebody else to light theirs. Make sure fiery bursts of productivity are accompanied by laughter and gratitude, connection, appreciation, and love. It's okay to hold shadow in all of this light. Don't push it down so deeply that you can't find it again. Accept the parts of you that you don't openly share. The past failures that have held you back, they don't define you, so transmute that shadow. Sit with it briefly and then light it on fire, because you don't need it anymore. Affirm, I fill my world with an intense light that connects and incites passions. That's so crazy, because for some reason, and I know it's a download because I haven't personally experienced this unless people out there doing this behind my back, but it's like, do not allow someone who doesn't know you to judge you. So meaning, like I said, I have been in isolation or solitude since my last relationship ended. So I haven't interacted with a friend since me and my last group of friends attempted to interact with each other, and we all realized we are on different journeys. Like, we have different mindsets, we have different lifestyles, like we just aren't compatible anymore for the most part. So I haven't, no relationships, no friendships, none of that. It's just be me mommying for the most part. So therefore, nobody knows me. So for somebody that you haven't interacted with in 2 years to be out here in these streets saying or telling people what you did or who you were 5 years ago, do not let that deter you. Do not let that affect you, because they don't know you, and it's not your job to defend yourself because they don't know you. So there's nothing for you to try and cover up or speak on or clear up, because it's like that was their perspective. So their feelings are valid, and that may have some capacity of truth, but that's no longer me. So whoever you're meant to align with within this new season or this next chapter will either understand that or they won't. And we accept ourselves enough to know that no matter which end of the line they fall on, you either for me or you are against me. And it's like, okay, cool, now I know how to move forward. Now I know who, to cross out the list, who I'm not supposed to be interacting with. But yeah, so don't judge yourself. Once you forgive yourself about something you've done in the past or who you were in the past, no one from your past can come and put that back on you. Do not allow anyone to do that. I just saw a butterfly, which confirms that we are transforming. Let me do a chakra deck right quick. Spirits. Right in here. Let's see. What chakra should we be focused on today? I need to know. Tell me. So. We got 2 cards. One from our heart chakra and the other one from our sacral plexus. And we are currently balancing our heart chakra, and I spoke on our sacral chakra today. So the first one is victim. Let's see, because I said something earlier about how people victimize themselves. Victim. Green acorn. I am not a victim. I chose to do what I'm doing. Green acorn is asked to star in a fable by Kelly the Green Dragon. He was promised top billing, but in the end, he says his best work never made the final edit. Now he doesn't even have a speaking part. He feels betrayed by Dragon, but Green Acorn is not resentful. Being in the fable landed him a job on display at a museum. He insists he is content, but we can see denial and the underlying anger. Inspiration. The green acorn indicates that being in denial may be holding you back. To move forward, you must make an honest assessment of your situation. Personal inquiry. How are my actions connected to my inability to create breakthroughs? How are my actions connected to my inability to create breakthroughs? Am I willing to make new choices in order to grow? Key ideas include feeling blocked, blaming others, past resentment, deluding yourself, potential for greatness. Keywords: growth, breakthrough, and empowerment. Didn't the Ten of Swords get on here talking about releasing delusion? Yes, this Ten of Swords comes to us in times of blinding truth. When delusion is lifted, sometimes the truth is painful because it indicates backstabbing or personal loss. Are you victimizing yourself based off the choices that you are choosing to do or not to do? And how is it hindering you? It is time for us to become accountable and take responsibility for where we are and where we are trying to go. Yeah. The divine is saying, release the denial. Release the denial. Accept this present moment and move forward. Don't hold on to resentment. You make an honest assessment of your situation. The truth hurts, but once you become aware and accountable, you have the ability to overcome and move forward intentionally. And then we had service, and we get this card a lot, but we just did acts of service this week or today. It says service. Honey Adams, I attract to you whatever you desire if you give up your desire. Honey Adams loved her 3 children very much and had a rewarding family life, though sometimes she regretted never finding a career outside the home. At the end of her life, she realizes that this failure was not a failure at all. She achieved something more important, passing on a legacy of service to her daughter, Franny. Being a mother is a great accomplishment. And we were just talking about how your children learn by watching. Your children absorb and observe everything you're doing. So when we begin mad at these kids, from their tone of voice to their choice of words, we need to be looking in the mirror getting mad at ourselves. Because just like somebody else can be a reflection of us in a relationship, your children are a reflection of you, whether you want to accept it or not. Inspiration. Are you seeing your life as it really is? Though we may wish things to be different, often we create just what we need. Though we may wish things to be different, often we create just what we need. This is an opportunity to look at where you are today. Give up what you think you deserve and start being of service. Personal inquiry. How does the idea of service inspire me? How can I make the most of my present situation? What can I give? Key ideas include favoritism, unwillingness to compromise values, finding contentment, the joy of service, and precious memories. Keywords include compassion, loyalty, and strength. I'll show you. And then I'm going to pull us a mindful message. What does divine want us to know? Sweet spirits. Boop, boop. Message. So we got 4. The first one says guidance system. I love using my emotions as a guidance system. They show me how close or far away I am from what I want. When I'm feeling joy and doing the things I love, I'm in a state of allowing for my desires. I notice when I'm feeling low vibrational thoughts and shift them to release resistance. So that's that emotional intelligence. You being able to gauge, where am I and where am I trying to be? What am I trying to align with? You are your thoughts. If you are thinking low vibrational thoughts, you are going to experience low vibrational experiences in that moment. If you're thinking abundantly and high vibrational thoughts, that's all your perspective is going to be in that moment. So that's the only thing that you're going to experience. This also puts me back in the mind frame of this service card. What is it? I attract to you whatever you desire if you give up your desire. If you are anxious and desperate for something, you are still vibrating in a low vibrational frequency. Anxiety and desperation is not high vibrational, because you are telling the universe that you're seeking and you don't have and I need, versus vibrating in the it is already done. It is already done. That faith. The next one that came out is coming my way. Unique opportunities aligned with my desires present themselves to me. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. Unique opportunities aligned with my desires present themselves to me. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. You cannot attract abundance vibrating in lack. Period. Unique lives. Unique opportunity, unique lives. It says unique lives. I respect everyone's individual decisions and way of life. We are each on our own unique journeys, and my way isn't the only way. My job is not to change others, but to simply love them. And I had to learn that, because my intention was love, but I realized the way that my love was coming off was almost a bit controlling. if a person want to be with a nigga and get their ass beat on, it is not my job to tell them what they should or shouldn't be doing. They have to come to light to that. If a person want to sit at home crying because their baby daddy not giving them gas money, and I'm here like, girl, how much you need, but you crying about what he said he is and ain't gonna do, and y'all ain't been together in 3 years, it's not my job to try and come in and fix that problem if you aren't seeking my assistance. So being able to, if you choose to continue hanging out with certain friends or family members who are experiencing those type of relationships, those are just random examples. Not judging them for what they are experiencing, but sending them love, because you don't also have to interact with that, because if that's a boundary for you and it makes you feel some type of way that they don't love themselves enough to not deal with that, then you have the right to separate yourself and love them from afar. You're not wishing them no ill will. You're not wishing them anything low vibrational or negative that happened to them because they didn't listen to you. No, you hoping and praying that they see the light. You hoping and praying that they overcome that season and figure out their worth, their value, their sacredness. But knowing that we are all experiencing the experiences that we should be experiencing is something, even no matter how low vibrational it is. And this is a person that's standing here telling you that I was molested for years. And once I finally told my dad about it as an adult, this man said, you need proof of that, and that's not true. Like, immediately disregarded what I said and told me that it wasn't valid or true. However, I did not let that break me. I realized this was something that I needed to happen to build me. So understanding that everything that somebody is experiencing is for their betterment, and it's their job to overcome it. It is their job to overcome it. I can't make you see something you aren't trying to see. Then lastly is play. I am completely engaged in what I do in the here and now. I call it play instead of work. I'm deeply fulfilled by all that I do. You know that you have, in my opinion, aligned with your purpose when you are doing it and it doesn't feel like work. It has aligned you with abundance. You don't feel drained after doing it. It actually fills you up, makes you happy, and gives you a sense of purpose. I hope this message added value. I am Simone, Shepherdess, and I was taught that when you get, you give. When you learn, you teach. I'm here to preach, and y'all finna get this word. Have a beautiful Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow.